My name is Grin, and this is my beard. I got a weird crumb in my beard today. Today's crumb is all about why. Why? Why, man? Why? The point is this. Why am I doing this? Why am I forcing myself to do all this? I had a loss of, or I lost my way. I lost my way for a short time today, where I was just thinking, why am I doing this? Why do I have to do this? Why do I need to? And I realize I don't. I don't need to. I don't want to. I don't need to. So why am I doing it? I'm doing it because I want to I want to create a habit of doing something even though it's not something I want to do. It's pulling myself out of my comfort zone and forcing myself to create a habit that I think is a good habit. Um, Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I think it is. I think it could be. But I had that dread today where it's like, oh, I gotta make a video. What am I gonna make a video about? And it was like, oh, that's what I'm gonna make a video about. Why would I even do this? What forces me to push myself into making videos for nobody but myself? And it's just that. It's for myself, I realize. Again, I know I've realized this before, but I had to realize it or realize it again, that the whole reason why I'm doing this is for myself, just to better my ability to talk about things, to just, I don't know, come up with a topic and give my point of view and talk about it, and just also to, for the future, for posterity. Later on, I'll be able to look at these things, and also it helps me organize my ideas inside of my head, so that at some point in time, I would like to write a book about some of my experiences, and I don't have a topic yet of how what I want the book to be, or what I would want it to be about. I think one book I want to do is teaching, about teaching English, and which ways work and which ways don't, and why. And speaking of that, all right, teaching English. Okay, so I've been teaching English for um, 17 years now, and I've got a lot of experience seeing what does and what doesn't work, and and I know why I do the things that I do. Although there are times where I get stuck in my mode, and it's just like, oh, you gotta break out of that and do something different. But for the most part, I understand where people are coming from when they're learning a new language, because I've had to learn Japanese as well. I know what that took, and my Japanese isn't that great, in my opinion. Um, and I think I could do better, but I am. I'm still learning. I'm taking courses. I'm doing Kumon. I'm still doing Kumon. I did 120 pages already, and it's been less than a week. So 6 days, 120 pages of writing, and I know what works and what doesn't. And one of the things that I'm seeing that I've done for my students that isn't really working for me is writing the letters and saying them while writing them. At least to the point where if I don't do it a lot, I won't remember. So I'm writing the kana, and as I'm writing it, I'm saying it. And I noticed that even though I do that, when I go to a blank piece of paper and I'm not looking at the actual kana and I have to write it, I end up looking at it and then writing it. And it's like I need to be able to write it from here, not from the page, not looking at it. So my students have the same problem, especially my younger students who are learning how to write ABCs, the big letters and the small letters. And it takes them a long time, or some of them, it takes them a long time to get to the point where they can write all of the letters without looking at anything, just from their heads. And that does take a while. And I'm starting to realize, yeah, it takes a while. But the difference is in English, there's only 26 letters, but in Japanese, there's a lot more. So You got katakana, you got hiragana, and then you got kanji, and then you even have romaji, which romaji is easy because it's just English derivatives. So a I U E O kaki ku ke ko is really easy to write. Just A E I O U and K E K K A K I K E A I U E kaki ku ke ko. But the point is that it takes a while. You can't just do it once or twice. You got to keep doing it and keep doing it. So I did 120 pages, but 20 of those pages of the kana that I'm practicing are um, ones that I've already done. Just going back over it. I don't know if my teacher did that on purpose or not. She didn't say me. She didn't tell me um, because I wasn't able to go that day that I was supposed to go to check my progress. Instead, my wife just picked up some homework for the rest of the week for me. So not really sure if that's what she meant to do, but I'm finding out that it's probably a good thing. Going over it again helps me refresh that memory and hopefully retain it. More times you do it, the more times, right? Memory. It's like that memory video that I did a while ago. So today I really wanted to go do something. I haven't gone out since Halloween of the 17th of last week or last month, October. And then, having my own Halloween party it was more work than anything. So today I wanted to go out and practice singing. And I practice singing by going to this karaoke bar, and they have a system where when you're singing the songs, it tells you the notes that you're singing and if you're on the note or not, um, and how long those notes are supposed to be. So I like that because then I can see how uh, if I'm singing the note as long as I need to do and in the right key or the right key. That's how I practice my singing. So I'm going to go do that, and I can't go until I finish this video. So I was like, oh, why do I really need to do a video? Oh, I need to. I have to. It's anytime like a new habit takes 3 months of doing it over and over again to make it, you know, a habit. Otherwise, it's just something that you're doing. But if you do it for 3 months steadily, like always the same 3 month for 3 months, that will become a habit that you can't just stop. You'll keep it'll continue itself. It's self propelling. So I have done this for a month and 1 day now. So it's been 30. This is the 31st video that I'm making, and it's a good start. But it's only a third of the way to making it a habit. And then once it's a habit, then I can really start working towards doing better things like making better videos or finding better topics. Once I make the habit of making the video, the next part is to make the habit of making a good video. And it's all got to start somewhere. Anytime you're going to do YouTube videos or anything, you got to start somewhere. Just make it a habit of doing it. And then once it's ingrained in you and you can't not do it, then you start trying to figure out ways to make it better. So that's my idea. That's what I'm trying to do. Before, when I did my other channel, I did videos, but I didn't do it regularly. It wasn't consistent. The only thing that I had that was consistent was the podcasts that I did, and they weren't even very consistent either. And they were only once a week, so it wasn't enough to make it into a habit, and it didn't continue. Like, it's really hard to do the podcasts because you got to find people who are able to do it with you. I mean, doing a podcast just by myself is basically what I'm doing now, but it's a lot shorter and it's probably not as interesting yet because I'm not very good at it. I think I'll get better and have better things to say uh, over time. And I'll figure out what people want to see and what people want to hear about and want to talk about. But right now, I really want to do the Gaijin Smash podcast again. I had this podcast that I did with my bandmates and some other friends where we would talk about life in Japan and the crazy things that we did and saw and participated in or whatever while drinking alcohol. It was great because when you're drinking alcohol, all the inhibitions go away, and then you start telling stories that you probably wouldn't tell otherwise, and that's really good content. We had a rule. It was kind of like the rule from same as what was that podcast, Rooster Teeth podcast, where if anyone says anything that is stupid or makes them look stupid or whatever, then you just say go on and let them continue and allow them to dig their own grave, basically. It worked really well, and it was a lot of fun. And every time I bring it up with my friends, they're like, "Yeah, I'd love to do that, but it's just the timing. It's just finding time to do it and getting everybody together because we don't live next door to each other anymore. Never did, but now it's more difficult now that we've got kids and we've got responsibilities more than what we had when we were just married or getting married. So things have changed. Still, first, my understanding is I need to keep doing this and be consistent so that I can make it into a habit. Then make it better. And then maybe add some stuff to it or do things differently, whatnot. But I've got to make a video every day. And this is my suggestion to anyone else out there. Start with building the habit of doing something, doing it, whatever it is. Even if it's no good, even if you're terrible at it, even if what you do is something that people don't want to participate in or hear or listen to or whatever. Just do it until you make it into a habit. Once you make it into a habit, then start finding a way to make it better and get people more interested in it. I think that's what this is all about. This is my test, my experiment to see if that actually works. All right. Well, that's what I wanted to say. That's the crumb in my beard. Have a good one.